The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewell. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewell. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
All right, what's up, guys? Jesse, Habit-Based Lifestyle, and welcome to the Habit-Based Lifestyle and Business Show. Today, we are going to be talking specifically about why you need an organic marketing strategy or system before you decide to run Facebook ads. And as we go through this today, no matter if you're, running Facebook ads, doing those things or not, this is simply going to be a conversation about why it's important to have organic marketing and why this could definitely impact your business in a positive way. So if you're watching this, just type in live, hashtag live. If you are tuning in on the replay, hashtag replay. But today is going to be a great show. We're going to keep it short and sweet, but I want to also make this impactful for you. So number one, I want to start with Facebook ads and what are the pros and cons of this. And I really want to dive into this from a place of someone who's probably spent $3 to $4 million on Facebook ads. And this goes all the way back to 2011, 2012 is when we first started running them. And I got into them. We kind of dabbled in them for the first few years. And then I really got into them around 2015. And not only then, I started learning the organic marketing side around 2015, 2016. But I really believe it was what took my business to the next level. And just so you know, I believe in both, but I believe in one before the other. And the reason why I talk about them is because I think a lot of people rely on one and they don't rely on the other. And I want to talk today about how we can leverage both of them to really impact your business. But I want to go over the pros and cons of both. So let's just say, we have Facebook ads on one side and we have organic marketing on the other. Now, one is going to be paid. You're going to pay Facebook to be seen, whether it be, a sponsored post on your business page or whether it be you running ads, it's some type of paid traffic. Now, I believe in this for a business. I believe this is important. So as I'm going through this, just understand I'm not against one. I'm not against these at all, but I believe there's a time and place. So definitely the pros for Facebook ads is it's really meant for scaling. And what do I mean by that? Scaling is where we decide, hey, if I'm making, $20K a month or $10K a month, $30K a month, whatever that is, scaling usually means I want to take my business and almost like double or triple my revenue. And so Facebook ads are really meant to kind of pour that money into that so that we can begin to scale our business. And so just so you know, I believe in scaling a business. I believe that ads are something that actually do that and really help with that. The other pros in this, well, I mean, there's two. So number one is we can have other people run ads for us. Obviously, you got to pay somebody else. You have to not only pay someone else, but they can manage it all for you. And you don't really have to do any of that. So there are a lot of companies today that do that. And so that is a great way to, handle your marketing and do things like that, scale it. And then another thing is you don't have to learn to necessarily use it. Now, if you've ever dabbled in Facebook ads, if you've ever dabbled in, funnels and kind of going through that whole process, you would know that that is a complete nightmare to do. And I can remember this back in the fitness industry early on when I was managing all of this. There was times where I had people doing it, and it was really a nightmare to manage. It was almost like a full-time job in itself to manage that myself. Even when you'd get them up and running, you'd have an ad that would work. All of a sudden, what would happen is something would go down, and then you'd have to figure it out. So it was actually a lot of work to manage, but now you have companies that will actually do it for you. You don't have to learn any of it. But where I come from is I always want to understand something so that I can know what to check for, know what to look for when it comes around. And so those are really the cons, or the pros. You can also get a lot of leads this way also. And so that's another pro, definitely, is you can get a ton of leads from this. Now let's talk about cons when it comes to this. Number one is it can take months to figure out. It can take months, and it can take money to really figure out what's working or not working. Now, there are companies out there that, they kind of have everything already mapped out for you. The problem with that is it's their type of client, not necessarily your type of client. And so it takes months, it takes some time, it takes some money, a couple $1,000s minimum to usually pay a company, and then to not only pay them, but then to pay for your ads also. So you could end up spending, $3,000 a month for 90 days to 6 months and not get very many leads, or not get the quality of leads. And that takes me into the next one. So the quality of leads, yes, you can get quantity of leads, but the quality of leads typically are not the best. I can remember the fitness industry, 50 to 60, 65% of the leads I got, they were not great quality leads. Of the rest of that, we would talk about 50 to 60% of that would probably be a little bit better quality. But again, this is a scaling business. And so it's about quantity, not about quality. And so a lot of marketers will focus on the quantity of leads, not necessarily the quality of leads. We like to call these type of leads Walmart leads, where they're looking for a deal, they're looking for a special, and they, are kind of the Groupon of the early 2000 to 2010. All these people went from Groupon to Facebook, and they kind of hang out around your town, always looking for, a new offer or new deal. And what happens a lot of times is you have to devalue your service. And so what does that mean? That means we have to cheapen our initial consultation, where it might be $29, $39, $49. And if you run a business that way, that's fine. I'm not saying there's anything bad, but if I, was running a business and I gave someone a free workout, or I gave someone a $29 first time initial visit, the quality of that person is usually not the best. And I don't want to work my business in sifting through who's a good lead and who's not. And so that's a lot of times what could happen. The clients, when they come in through ads, things like that, they don't know you. They don't feel like, they don't even really like you yet. And so that trust is not built through your ad. That trust is not built through your, business Facebook page. That trust has still not been established. So as they come in, it's a little bit harder to convert them. And you also still have to kind of sift through who's a qualified lead, who's not. And so those are a lot of the cons, that we talk to our clients about, is why they don't like them. The biggest one is always going back to the quality of lead versus, what we call better than referral leads. So those are the pros and cons. Again, biggest thing is we're looking to scale our business when we leverage these. And so I'm going to explain why. And then another con too could potentially be if you're running them yourself, you're putting a lot of time and energy into that. Another con could be that someone else is running them for you and you don't really understand them. So you could be leaving a lot of money on the table. And typically it's a super competitive market. So Facebook ads, like everybody's running them today. And I will say back in, 2014, 15, you could put $7,000 or $8,000 out in ads and run a campaign. Like we would run 6-week challenges and that would bring in $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 over a 3 to 4 week period. Now today, you're not going to get those numbers the same way unless you live in a small town where someone else isn't doing it. Typically, it's going to be the person who's spending the most money is going to get seen the most. And that's how that game's kind of played. And same with your business page. If you're not backing it up with money, very few people are going to see your content. And it's going to just be a little bit harder to do. Now, let's talk about organic marketing. First, I want to talk about what organic marketing is not. Organic marketing is not referrals. It is not randomly posting on different social media platforms. And it is definitely not posting on your business page. And so what I want you to understand is organic marketing is an actual system that we teach inside of Habit-Based Lifestyle, where we help clients add an additional $10K a month to $30K a month. We have ones that do more. We have ones that may do less, but typically that's the range that we really work with people in, is someone who wants to add an additional $10K to $30K a month to their, revenue. And so whether they're doing ads, whether they're doing some other style of marketing, it's not to take place of that. It's to add in addition to that. So with that being said, some of the pros of organic marketing are you really get to learn your ideal client, not who you can work with, but who you really want to work with. And you can go after them. And we do it in a way where we're actually going after the problems our ideal client has, not necessarily, the demographics of it's a male or female. It's like, no, what are the real problems that we help this client solve? We also understand where they hang out, where we can find them. And that's a really important piece of this whole thing. We teach people, one of the things is you get to actually learn the messaging that attracts your ideal client. So the cool thing is we can communicate our ideal message to our ideal client, and we can get comfortable in our content. So a lot of people are not comfortable with their content. They just put out random content. We call it the spray and pray method. They're spraying content everywhere, all over different platforms, and they're praying that it works. And there's no strategy behind it other than just put it out there. And I want you to know that probably 90% of the content people put out are ineffective at actually getting a client to engage with them. And so that's one of the biggest issues is when we do organic, we really learn how to communicate with people. We learn how to engage with people, which at the end of the day is what we want. Organic marketing also will teach you how to grow a following of people who know, like, and trust you. So the difference in Facebook ads is people still don't know you. They don't necessarily like you, and they don't trust you. And so you have to earn that as you go. This style of marketing and what we teach is we teach you how to get people to know you, like you, and trust you so that when they come in, they are already converted as a client. They know that you can ultimately help them. They're like, hey, how can I work with you? Not necessarily, what does it cost to work with you? It's like, I know you can help me. Let's figure out how we can work together. The other thing is we're going to teach you in organic marketing how to create value-driven content in the marketplace. And this value-driven content comes from a place of your expertise, what you're an expert in. That's what you get to teach. That's what you get to talk about. And that's what you get to leverage in the marketplace. And many of the conversations you may have on a day-to-day basis with your clients, the people you work with, is what we deliver as far as content. The other thing, you're in control of the number one thing that drives your revenue into your business, which is marketing. Marketing is the number one thing that's going to drive new revenue into your business. and you're in control of that versus, Facebook ads and having someone else do that. Now, if you're doing that yourself with Facebook ads, then obviously you are. But in this style is exactly what it takes to drive in revenue to your business, and you're in control of it. There's not a huge competition in the marketplace for organic marketing right now. In fact, I would say out of all the people I know doing it, 10-15% of people really know how to do this and do it correctly and are really good at it, especially if we're talking, brick and mortar businesses. If you're living in a town, a small town, or even a community, very few people will know how to do this. The other cool thing is your organic content gets seen over any paid traffic, and people can see multiple different styles of content coming from you versus someone who's running ads. The other thing is people see a sponsored post, they know they're getting sold. People see an organic post, they think they're getting educated, or they think they're getting they're having an opportunity to engage or connect with that person. So it's a completely different way. Quality of leads. I call these better than referral leads. Why? Because they're looking for someone with expertise. They're looking for someone who can help them. And that's why better than referrals. Referrals know, like, and trust the friend enough to come in. Better than referrals know, like, and trust the person who owns the business before they come in. And that's why it's better than referral lead. These guys are already converted because they're following you, they're watching you, and they're so much better. So imagine somebody who used to see your business page back when you didn't have to put money behind it. Now this organic side is people, these are better than referral leads because they got to know you, like you, and trust you on a personal level. When they come in, they're already converted. So those are people looking for expertise, not looking for a deal. They don't come in saying, oh, I thought it was $29 first time. They don't say any of that. They don't say, oh, it's a free session my first time. They're coming in because of your level of expertise. So there's much more value in that. Some of the cons, you need to learn it yourself to really understand it. I believe anything in business, you have to do that first. And really the goal in this is to learn it first, live it, execute it, and then you can lead someone else and passing it off or delegating it and creating a system out of it. And then the other side of it, it's hard to outsource your own voice. It's hard to outsource your own content because it's yours, right? And so one of the things I see is people are trying to outsource their own voice. They're trying to outsource their own content. And in that, it's not impactful. It's actually, not engaging content. And these are a lot of the, memes that you'll see or different things like that is not necessarily their voice. It's someone else's. Some of the other cons is some people aren't consistent. And if you're not consistent in the marketplace, people will not buy from you. And so if you're not someone who shows up consistently, then that could wreak havoc on your business. And the other side of this is also in doing this and learning this, there's definitely a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. We don't ever ask, some of the real estate people I see is they'll post, hey, come do my open house, but that's not organic marketing. That's, that's a tactic that you're using is like, hey, come buy my stuff. This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about strategically and systematically learning how to take a client through, an opportunity to see the value you give them, the expertise that you have, and really to start converting them in your content, which, a lot of the content we see is not organic. Our goal also is not to just straight message, thousands of people either, because that's not it either. So it's value-driven content that creates an opportunity for us to work with a client or customer and know that we can actually help them solve their problem. And that's one of the most important things that we can do. So those are your pros. Again, the reason why I believe that you should have organic marketing is if all of that works organically, then when I go to scaling my business, all I have to do is use the same method and then go into scaling and I can take that to 2, 3, 4, 5x because I've already proven the organic side works. My messaging works. My avatar works. Now, when I go to back it up with money with ads, I can go into scaling that. That's why I believe that organic marketing first can happen. And we have several clients who do 6 figures a month to 50, 60, 70K a month to 10K a month. And none of these guys are running ads, but they're doing those kind of numbers. But that's an opportunity for you to also go into scaling and really multiply that by 2 to 3x, if not 5x, if you really understand how to do that. And so that's why I believe organic marketing is much better to start with. And then once you've proven the model works, you go into scaling and running ads from that. So guys, let me know if you have questions. Hit up replay if you're on the replay on this. Leave some comments. What are you learning from this? And we'll be back on Friday with the lifestyle portion of the Habit-Based Lifestyle Show. We'll talk soon.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing.